Welcome back, Halo followers. Today we got some Halo Infinite news, and today actually includes screenshots of environments as well as some gameplay and places that we will be able to go and give us a look at basically Foreigner environments as well as Zeta Halo overall and the menu itself. So yeah, I'm just going to be looking at pretty much exclusively the juicy stuff in this update, which the first picture is this environment, which kind of looks familiar. This is the one that we saw a little while ago, in a similar spot, but you actually see a lot more in this screenshot. The dimensions are pretty wide, and that is because actually this whole update is about the PC version of Halo Infinite. If you didn't know, Halo Infinite is dropping on PC, Xbox One, as well as the Xbox Series X. So yeah, a lot, that's 3 different places, right? So anyway, the PC version is going to have field of view, all right, starting at 78 to 120. On this screenshot, they actually break it down. Actually, let's go ahead and take a closer look at this screenshot in its, full beauty, all right, because this one is probably the most telling image of all of these in the post, and this is actually of gameplay. So this is campaign work in progress. The dimensions are 32 to 9. I'm not quite sure what the FOV is, but my god, I mean, that is quite a large display that you'd be playing this on. So firstly, I gotta say, we got a Jackal here on the left, right? Just a red Jackal with the orange shield, the radar. And the environment does look very Halo 2-esque, Halo 3-esque of the Foreigner design. But one big thing I do want to mention here is the blue symbol kind of floating hologram thing over here, all right? That is actually very, it looks very much like the original Guardian design, which makes me wonder if we're going to actually be seeing the original OG Guardians in Halo Infinite, all right? That'd be pretty sweet, right? Well, anyway, this place looks pretty large. It looks kind of reminds me of the library from Halo 1, which, again, this game is very much based on Halo 1, so you can expect environments probably to be looking pretty similar. We actually see a grunt on the right side here, and it looks like he actually is holding or has a backpack of equipment or something. We saw that recently with some toys, so it makes me wonder if there's going to be grunts that are just carrying around ammo and supplies for the Banished. Anyway, so yeah, just taking a look at this screenshot now. This one is actually pretty neat, all right? Reminds me of Halo 2, right? And, I mean, there's really not much to say specifically about this, other than the enemies and the large door. And that is a pretty big door. I wonder why it is so big. Maybe it's a boss battle or something that, a boss arena, somewhere beyond that door or right in front of it, who knows. But yeah, really cool stuff there. We also see this like top-down view that kind of shows Zeta Halo, but also just the environments and kind of like some of the things we can expect to see. That demo that we saw a long time ago really gave us a good idea on how this game is going to work. And this little hill right in front of us, that's going to be a place that we can most likely walk up. It looks like you can actually walk up there. I can see some red up there, some ammo crate or something. So it's a rather large environment, actually, if you really zoom in and start looking at all the tiny details. And I swear that looks like either a shade turret or a chopper down here, but never mind that. There are bridges setting aside these kind of ravines for the player to get across. We can even see this whole valley. There's just a lot of opportunity here for Warthog stunts, isn't there? All right. Anyway, I couldn't help but notice this drop off here on the left side. You can kind of see the again, we actually do know, it was confirmed in a recent post, that these pillars are actually these hex walls, as they call it, or is in fact damage from Zeta Halo. Something happened here and it's caused a lot of these hex walls to push the environment up in very bizarre ways, but it will create natural barriers in the environment. So yeah, something to think about. So yeah, just taking a look at all this stuff, it looks really cool. I really hope that is a chopper that we saw earlier, because it looks very much like one. And brutes are going to be such a big part of this game. I could totally see choppers having a place in this. But anyway, field of view as well as aspect ratio is going to be a pretty big thing for Halo on PC, and it's going to adapt to the environment really well. And I think that they maybe even made these environments to consider people with larger, these really crazy expensive monitors that have these crazy aspect ratios. No hate, but if you got a 32:9 aspect ratio, I mean, good for you. But my gosh, that is, I would say it's almost inconvenient to be looking all the way to the left, all the way to your right to look at your ammo and radar. But I digress. Let's look at the settings here. So we actually see that there's quite a few settings here for PC. Again, we actually see these options really expanding upon what was previously available to us as PC players, and that includes field of view. All right, you also get to pick your graphics card and your display monitor, and whether if you want borderless full screen resolution scale, which is pretty big. I think that's going to be shifted up to 4K if you want 4K potentially. Also, minimum frame rate, maximum frame rate, and VSync. Right, so there's a lot of options here, as well as controller, keyboard and mouse, audio, UI, accessibility. You also actually, this is pretty cool. You get to pick what your keyboard does. You get to assign keys, which isn't revolutionary by any means, but certainly something to keep note on. So I do want to read this last part here for you guys. They say, Halo games have always inspired to fully immerse you in a sci-fi world filled with mystery and adventure. But playing Infinite in 29 or 32:9, the Halo world enwraps you like never before, especially if you have one of the fancy curved ultra-wide monitors. Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of support. And they say this, just wait until you see the game cinematics in these formats. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. It makes me almost want to get one of those incredibly wide monitors to see that. What I do think bears some additional words aren't what features we're building on PC, but rather who is doing the building. One of the best parts of being the new guy on Halo Infinite is that I get to meet a bunch of whole people. So yeah, this guy talks a little bit about working with everyone, but essentially they do go on to tease that what they have planned for this game industry event season, which is just around the corner, mind you, by the way, and there will be glorious plans afoot. So they have some really cool stuff to show us soon. Again, that's going to be June 12th to June 15th. That is E3, and those guys are getting everything wrapped up, and of course, Halo Infinite is pretty much already confirmed to be there. So, yeah. Anyways, guys, there's a whole post going into a lot of more in-depth information, but I thought I would just, as quickly as I can, get the juicy information out of the way. So, let me know what you think about these screenshots. Are you hyped for Halo Infinite? Because I know I sure am at this point. It's been a long time coming. All right. So, I'll catch you guys in the next one soon. All right. You take care. Peace.